Hi, everyone. I'm sitting down today with Griffin Thall, the CEO of Pura Vida. Thank you so much for joining me, Griffin. We're going to talk a little bit about ambassador marketing and how successful Pura Vida has been with their program. I'm from Reversion. I come from a background of digital media and advertising over the last 10 years. As the CEO of Pura Vida and the co-founder, Griffin is charged with leading the vision, marketing, and execution of the multi-million-dollar jewelry and lifestyle brand. What makes Pura Vida so different and so successful?
Well, thanks so much for having me on the show today. I really appreciate it. So yeah, back in 2010, my best friend from college, Paul, and I went on a surf trip to Costa Rica, and we were there for 5 weeks, just wanted to explore, travel, kind of get lost. And the last week we were there, we came across these two bracelet vendors on the beach in Dominical, Costa Rica. And we walked up to their little booth and we asked them if we could buy a couple bracelets. So we did. And later that night, we looked down at our wrists and said, hey, I think we could sell these to our friends and family, people back in San Diego and LA. And, maybe try to create a brand out of it, maybe make back some money from our trip. That was pretty much a whole business plan. I could have written it on. So the next day we went back to their little table. It was, their names are Jorge and Joaquin. And we asked them to make us 400 bracelets. They said yes. And they packed up their things. And that was the last day they ever worked on the beach again, selling bracelets to the public. So now fast forward to today, and Jorge and Joaquin, we still work with the same two guys. They manage an operation with over 800 artisans in Central America. They hand make every Pura Vida bracelet, ship it to us, and then we distribute them globally.
Wow, that is crazy. And you've been so successful with so many different marketing strategies in your company. How did you decide to create an ambassador program? And how does it differ from an influencer program? What made you think of doing something with ambassadors? And tell us a little bit about how many ambassadors you currently have.
So I think in the beginning of starting Pura Vida, Paul and I have always been obsessed, with branding, marketing, coming up with creative ways to kind of growth hack the brand. We started this business with $100 each. We never took on funding. We never had any debt. We never raised any money. We never had any other partners. So we literally started with $100 each. And what that means is we needed to be very lean in our operations. We couldn't just spend a bunch of money on this. And if it didn't work, that's okay, because then our Pura Vida would have folded up. So every dollar that we risked was so important to us. And that's why coming up with a program like Reversion was so good, was because we didn't have to find ways to spend a bunch of money on Facebook ads or a billboard or, renting out a space and doing a pop-up shop. It was a way to convert our current customers into a brand ambassador or a voice or a marketer, which is what we were essentially ourselves. So in the beginning, when we started the brand, Paul and I would walk around to the sororities and the fraternities at San Diego State, because that's where we just came from 3 months prior. And we had all these connections and friends. And it was a very easy way to continue telling our story, similar to how I'm doing right now. And we would set up a meeting, we'd go in in front of their chapter, we'd tell the story about Pura Vida. And at the end of the chapter meeting, they'd come back and we'd give them a bracelet for allowing us to speak. So how do we replicate that across every college campus in the country? The only way to do it is digitally, because we couldn't, fly to every country or fly to every single state every day and do these chapter meetings. So we wanted to find a way to replicate what Paul and I were doing so effectively at San Diego State. So once we did this and we realized that we can set up a form on our website, we could, take some awesome photos, make a little video, tell people what the incentive is, what's the trade-off for joining the Pura Vida program and becoming a brand ambassador. And that's when we found Reversion. And it honestly simplified the process, created a simple way to reward our customers and turn them into brand ambassadors. But also, it just organized everything with links and tracking and coupon codes and email marketing, and it links to all of our programs. And it was pretty much the missing piece that we were needing in our goal to replicate ourselves. So fast forward to today, from when we first started, and we have about 170,000 people that have signed up to become a brand ambassador through the Reversion platform, which is pretty insane. So I think that is a very big reason why our word of mouth marketing and our UGC content strategy is so powerful, is because it all goes through the system of turning our customers into a brand voice.
So, that really does tell us how the marketing fits into your strategy. Your social following, you said you're doing everything digitally and you continue to grow. What other tools or tactics did you use to get that network? 170,000 is huge. You walked around a college campus. but what is your social following right now?
On Instagram, we have like 2.1 million followers. And I think the reason that people like to follow us on Instagram is because they're inspired by our imagery. It's a means for them to, look at their phone and pretty much escape reality and, jump off this cliff in Kauai or go skydiving or, go explore this remote location in Tulum, like a cenote, something like that. And that's the type of content that we like to show off to our fans because it makes them feel like they're part of this club, this community. And once we, over time, we've amassed so many followers, we started to market the brand ambassador program through this organic Instagram following. And people were just blown away because now not only are we having these fans and followers on our photography and our videos, but now people are joining, they're opting into a program that will generate sales. From the beginning, it's just been very kind of a playful way to get people involved. But as the business has scaled, the brand ambassador program is honestly a really big way to drive sales, traffic, UGC, and overall just excitement for new products.
What is the communication that you're having with the ambassadors? I don't assume you're the one sitting down and speaking with the ambassadors all the time, but what are, how big of a team do you have? What are they doing to communicate with the ambassadors? How do you get them rallied and excited and talk about your product? Although they're already passionate about it, what do you do to continue that?
So we have one person in our office. Her name's Kelly. And Kelly is responsible for communication with the ambassadors, anything updating to their rewards, or if there's an issue with their code, or they didn't get, a product that we were telling them, or how do they join a group. So any type of like communication issues or things like that, but also just kind of being the point guard for SMS and email marketing, messaging to them as well. And then also we have another girl on our team. Her name is Courtney. And Courtney is actually one of our Pura Vida influencers, content creators. And the reason why we brought her on board is because we wanted to give the brand ambassador program a face, some type of talking, some type of visual, some way where people can feel like the brand ambassador program is talking to them. Not Pura Vida is talking to them, but a true brand rep and someone that loves Pura Vida as much as the people that are following that account. So we have a separate Instagram account just for brand ambassadors. And twice a week, Courtney goes on there. She does Instagram lives, she does Instagram stories, videos, reels, and she shows the brand ambassadors how to create content like a Pura Vida influencer. And this is so key because we're not just telling them, here's a code, go make sales. We are spoon feeding them a strategy on how to create content on Instagram. And I think that's what's so important is because people look up to Courtney because she has her own following. She has over 150,000 followers on her own page, and she's grown that by her own content strategy. So now she's bringing that into Pura Vida and guiding these reps, this army of ambassadors on how to make sales.
I wanted to ask, people are always saying, they have bracelets, they have other jewelry. Is there anything that we could look out for in the second half of the year that you could let some of the listeners in on, or the plans that are happening?
When we started the brand, it was just string bracelets. That was the first thing that we created. There you go. Looking good. And then from there, it evolved into beads and metals and charms. And then a couple of years ago, we started coming out with jewelry, just metal items, wave rings, different type of necklaces, earrings, chokers, anklets. And now the whole jewelry category is actually becoming almost half of our business is just metal items, which is so awesome to see us open up a new category and our fans being so into it. So fast forward a little bit, in the next coming months, we are going to be launching apparel, and I'm very excited for that. We're going to be coming out with tees and hoodies and just a very great kind of, small Q count just to start, but we're very confident in the designs and the fabric, the fit, the touch and feel, the way it looks. All the tees do go back to charity as well. So we're stoked on
great.
that. It's going to really make the brand feel cohesive. It's almost like an extension of our Instagram mixed with our stickers that are so popular and bringing those to cotton products, apparel. And then in June, we're opening up our first retail store. That's going to be in the UTC Mall in San Diego. So we full custom design of the store, full experiential, full experience. You walk in and you're just in Pura Vida land, almost like how people feel when they go to Disneyland. They're just fully 360. It's just Disney. So for us, we're taking a similar concept, making it just Pura Vida, hundreds of bracelet peg walls, jewelry, apparel is going to be in there, Instagram sharing wall. There's going to be neon signs, beautiful graphics, moss walls. I mean, this place is going to be a place that you want to hang out. There'll be phone chargers everywhere. There'll be places to sit, hang out, music. I mean, it's going to be really, really exciting. So I've been working on that for a while. That's going to be coming out probably June 15th-ish is around the grand opening day.
Oh, that's so exciting. Good luck.
Yeah.
And if things go well, should we see some other stores popping up?
Yeah, I mean, I think the plan is this is going to be our test. We have
Yeah.
some financial metrics that we definitely want to hit. But if it does work, we're going to be opening this up to probably our top 5 markets over time.
I think that a lot of people probably listening in look at you obviously as a success story. I mean, you said it, you graduated college, you went on a trip, and then that was it. Anything else you got fired from, you didn't, you had $100 to put into this, and look where you are. What advice can you give to brands? I work with big brands, I work with small brands. I don't think it really matters, the size. I think that, brands that are looking to speak with ambassadors and make a program, what type of advice can you give to them when it comes to getting ambassadors' attention?
I think in terms of getting their attention, you need to focus on quality content. That's the first thing, because why does an ambassador want to promote your brand or product if your Instagram looks like shit? Just being honest,
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing before even reversion is focus on a good content strategy. What do your photos look like? What do your videos look like? Is it even a page that you want to follow, right? Maybe show it to your 10 best friends. Do your 10 best friends want to follow your brand page? Or is it boring and it's just going to clutter up their Instagram feed? If that's so, then I think you got to rethink a content strategy. Once that's kind of perfected, or at least evolving in the right direction, then I think it's time to promote a proper brand ambassador program with reversion. So basically what you're going to want to do is come up with a good way to incentivize these reps, because once again, they're working for you. They're going under your guidance, with content, with videos, photos, with a coupon code, with rewards, with any type of freebies. So what are you going to do to make them feel like they're part of something exclusive, something unique, something separate from the main brand account? And once you can do that, and you give them their own home, their own house, their own community, their own walls, that's when they're going to feel special. If you make them feel like they're just part of the main brand page, they're just part of the big program, it's not going to move the needle.
I always tell clients that the best ambassador is your customer. Authenticity, trust. I always say that you have to think of them as an employee. Like you just said, while you're not paying them as an employee, they're just as valuable or more valuable because they represent your brand. So thank you for confirming this.
Yeah.
This has been phenomenal. I think that we got a lot of key takeaways. I think that it's true that you could just come up one day with an idea, and if you work hard and you think smart, it could happen. So I thank you so much for sitting down with us today. I know that this is very helpful for a lot of people out there, and we look forward to working with you and seeing the store come to life. And hopefully you'll hit the East Coast as soon. Hopefully that's one of the markets, and we will be checking it out. So Griffin, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I had a blast today. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to hit me up. Instagram is just at Griffin Thall. My email is griffin@puravidabracelets.com. So I'm here to help. Thanks so much, guys.
Great. Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.